Hello everybody, welcome to this video. In this video I will be reviewing my February 2025 books, which are these ones. I will also, in the end of the video, show the books I bought this month, which are some interesting ones, in my opinion, and some previews for coming videos. So let's just get into the books. A little disclaimer, I have been sick for the past week, so there is still some hint of sickness. So I'm sorry about that, but I just really wanted to film because I enjoy it. So yeah, the first book I finished in February was Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. So I finished this the 2nd. It took me like 2 days to read. It was really easy and I absolutely loved it. I love Ali Hazelwood. This was actually the 2nd book I read of her, and later this month I also read a 3rd book, and I bought a 4th book, so I'm clearly a fan. This book was great. I love the characters. Let me just first tell you what it's about. It's about this woman called Rue and a guy called Eli, and it's enemies to lovers, which I love. If it's done well, I love it. So yeah, Rue works in the food science biotech engineer, and Eli is a partner of the company that's buying Rue's company, or like the company she works at. So she doesn't like that, but they don't know that first because they meet one night stand. Again, another book. Ratchet had the same thing, but this one is better. No offense to Ratchet, because it was a good book, but this is beautiful. One part of this book, which I don't know if it's a spoiler, if you don't want to know anything about the book, skip like 5-10 seconds, maybe more. So they are at one point sitting on a couch at Eli's house, and he's watching ice hockey, and they're both into ice hockey, or like ice sports. She does figure skating, he does ice hockey, or used to, and he's watching the game, and he gets mad about the ref or whatever, and she doesn't really care because she's not interested in ice hockey, and he said, "Don't worry, I won't explain it to you." Which, first of all, sounds like, what do you mean you don't want to explain it to me? But it's so cute because he just said, because if you wanted to know about the sport, you had every opportunity growing up, being on an ice rink, to learn if you wanted to. So clearly you don't want to know. So why would I put you through that to explain the whole thing? So I thought that was so cute, and I love them. Eli's great. Bruce, mysterious, but also she has reason to be like more standoffish, so it's good. Good backstory, good book. I think I gave it 5 stars, actually, so maybe 4, but I think I gave it 5 because I really liked it. And look at the cover, it's beautiful. But yeah, great book. Adored the 1st book of this month. After that one, I read Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. Penelope Douglas. It's the first of a book series called Devil's Night series. I have all 4. I actually also read the 2nd one, but I read that the 1st of March, or like I finished it the 1st of March, so it's not included in this video, but stay tuned for the next video and I'll give my opinion on that one. But yeah, for this one, so it's about, I don't really know how to explain it, to be honest. It's just rich people, Erica and Michael and his friends every day, like every year, the day before Halloween, they have Devil's Nights, and they terrorize the town they live in. Erica is one of the Michael's families, like we're neighbors, and she's had family issues, stuff happened, and she lives there sometimes, like she has her own room and stuff, so they've been close, but actually Michael's always been very mysterious and standoffish. Stuff happens, you know, and they keep running into each other, and it turns out that Michael also is kind of interested in Erica, but they can't be because she used to be together with the brother, etc., etc. It is a dark, quite dark. It has a lot of trigger warnings, so yeah. But I personally didn't think it was that bad, which might say more about me than about the book. But the characters didn't have that much depth, especially after reading Hideaway, which is the second book, about other characters. They have so much depth about the main characters and also about the rest of like the group. This one was kind of boring in that sense. So if I could rate it again, I'd probably rate it lower after having read the second one. But I did enjoy it. It was a good book. It kept me on my feet. I think I finished it in 4 days. So it wasn't super fast, but it was fast enough. I don't really know what to say about it. It's just, yeah, it's a lot about revenge and hate, and I enjoyed it. I would recommend it. Don't read it if you don't like dark romance, because it is dark. This is the most trigger warnings I've ever read in a book, and they do sound kind of triggery, but I don't get triggered that easily, so for me it wasn't that bad. But if you do get triggered, do not pick this up. But I did enjoy it. I would recommend it if you enjoy dark books, and like it was kind of thrillery as well, a little bit, not too much, but kind of. So yeah. My third book I read this month was Redeeming 6, the fourth book of Boys of Solomon. And as if you've seen my previous videos, you know I love Boys of Solomon. Everybody loves Boys of Solomon. This was probably my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. They kept getting better, but I love this book. So it's just more about Joey and Eva. I can't really say a lot because it's just a continuation of the other books. So yeah, but it's about people in high school. They fall in love, but all of the characters also have like issues, very bad issues in this case. A little spoiler part, so I will put the timestamp when I'm done with that if you don't want spoilers. I loved the depth, like the backstory of Joey. Well, not the backstory, more like we didn't get to see everything of his in Shannon's book. Actually, we barely got to see who Joey actually is. So, for example, the part where he, you know, on the bridge, unaliving, trying to, and Lizzie came, that is, like, we didn't know that before having read this book. You have no idea what he actually went through in that moment, because you just knew he went away, came back, was crying because, you know, the house burned down. But it gives so much backstory about this. I do think their relationship is a little bit toxic, because Eva should have run away at multiple points in this book. I love that she stayed there for him and that they actually, you know, they are good together. It's just the way towards being good was kind of less good, maybe. I love how they deal with the rehab in this book, because I think a lot of books can just sweep it under the rug, as in he goes to rehab, it's done, like he's fixed. But that's not the case in real life, especially since, you know, he did heroin, which is not something you can just get over in a couple weeks in rehab. He will forever struggle with the urge to sometimes use, and Chloe Walsh actually did that in the book. Like, they said very clearly, like, he will always have the urge to use if stuff gets rough. And I really love how they did that in this book. So yeah, of course, 5 stars. I cannot give a Boys of Solomon book anything less. I love the characters, I love the story. I will recommend this to everyone. Of course, start with the first one, but these are amazing books and I adore them. The fourth book I've read is The Atlas Paradox, which is a sequel to The Atlas 6. And I read this in 8 days, so that for me is quite slow. I am not the biggest fan of these books, but the awful part is that I still bought the third book. There's a third book. I think it's called The Atlas Complex, and I own it. It's just not here right now because it's stuff. Anyway, I bought the third book, which I knew I was gonna do because I don't like the books. I have to say that. But the bad part is I do want to know how it ends. So I have to read a book of like 500 pages just to know how this book series that I don't even really enjoy ends. Because nothing happens in this book. Look, I gave it 3 stars, I think. Which is still, maybe I gave it even 2. I think I gave it 2.5, which you can't on Goodreads, so I think I gave it 3. But I gave it 2.5 stars. Because nothing happened. It took 500 pages for the main thing to like resolve. 500 pages of just them talking and arguing and being mad at each other, but also being in love with each other. I don't know what's going on in this book, but the thing is I have to read the third one because I want to know how it ends. I have to be able to rank the whole series, and if I can't, then so yeah, I am gonna read the third book. Hopefully I will have that in the next monthly review. I don't know if I can read it this month because I have a lot of books to read for also other videos. But yeah, I gave it 2.5. I would not really recommend the series. I mean, it is interesting. It is funny in some ways, and I do still love the photo, like the drawings in the pages, in the like between the chapters. But again, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Like, yeah, stuff happens, but like in terms of the whole plot, nothing happens. So why did that take 500 pages? You could have done this in 200 and it would have been really good, I think. But it was so long for nothing. So yeah, I don't know about that one. Then I read Twisted Lies, which is, I have finished the Twisted series, finally! I don't know when I started, but quite a while ago, sometime last year, and I finally finished it. I finally read the last book, and I loved it. Did I love it? I did. Yeah, I loved, like this was kind of a better version of Twisted Love, which is great, because Twisted Love was good. I finished it in one day, because I was traveling, so I was flying and going by train, so I did like 300 pages done, and then the next day I just finished the rest. So I read it fast, which I can, like, is really nice with Anna Huang's books, because they're really fast paced, which I really enjoy. So it's about Christian and Stella, which are the last of the like friend group. Christian is a guy who owns a security company, and he's very rich, and he owns a building that he lets Stella stay in for free, basically. Not basically, for free. She just has to water his plants once a week. Like, come on. Great. But yeah, they of course fall in love, because, come on, it's these books. First of all, look at, not first of all, yeah, there's a butterfly. Oh yeah, he calls her Butterfly. I don't know about that one. I'm not the biggest fan of nicknames, usually. Like, Butterfly, Bunny. Bunny? I heard somewhere that there's a book, a pretty popular book, where she's called Bunny. Well, not called. He calls her Bunny. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of nicknames. But yeah, besides that, he doesn't call it that often though, which is nice, because sometimes they like keep going with the nickname. Okay, yeah, and Stella is an influencer, and she's very introverted, which is interesting for an influencer, I think. But it's interesting. It's a good book. Again, you get more backstory into the characters that you've already gotten to know, kind of, over the last 3 books, which I always enjoy. I think I gave it 4 stars. I do think I still prefer Twisted Hate, because I prefer the character. I relate more to the characters. But this one was really good. I think Twisted Love was the worst. Then Twisted Games, then this one, and then Twisted Hate. So yeah, good book. Would recommend it. I do prefer, I think, if it's read in order, because then yeah. Also, it has an epilogue, which I really enjoy. Like a couple years later, I don't know how many, but a couple years later, or like 1 or no, I think like 4. Anyway, years later, which is always fun at the end of a series. So I really enjoyed that one. Yeah, good book. Now, the last book I read last month, like in February, was Bride, which is also one of the books I bought on my way to the Netherlands, where I went with the plane. I finished this in 2 days. Yeah, 2 days. It was so good. It was so good. I don't know why, because, okay, yeah, it's Bride from Ali Hazelwood. It's about a vampire and a werewolf. And they do like an exchange. They've been, like, the vampires and humans have been doing that for 10 years. Exchanging, like, kids. No, more years. That's... I love Lo. I don't know what the names though. Lo is the werewolf, Lo Morland, and Misery Lark. Which are kind of weird names, if you ask me. But he was amazing. I love him. He's a werewolf, which is kind of weird, but he was really good. So Misery and Lo get married. So it's arranged marriage trope, I guess. And she has to live with the werewolf for at least, yeah, I think for a year, and then they stay married for however long is necessary. But werewolves and vampires aren't great together. Well, actually, they're called wares. Wares here. So like without the wolf part. But yeah, I did enjoy it. So yeah, she's just locked up in a house. But it is kind of weird to like think about the whole plot. But the book is written so well. And it reads so easily and so quickly. I don't know what Ali Hazelwood puts in her books, but I eat these up. It's so easy to read and it's so quick, and there's like the characters are great. I also like the character development from both of them, and mostly Misery. Misery has great character development. Lo has been kind of the same for the whole book, but he is also lovely. And in the end, something is a little bit weird. Not completely the end, like the ending, but there was something where I was kind of like, what the hell is going on? But yeah, it was a really good book. I think I gave it 5 stars again. Yeah, it's just great. I don't know what Ali Hazelwood does, but... So yeah, great book, 5 stars. I would recommend this, for sure. Maybe not, if you want to get into Ali Hazelwood's writing, maybe not this one first, because she usually doesn't write fantasies. It's mostly just romance about like people in STEM, I guess, or like very smart people, which I do enjoy a lot. So yeah, these were my books I read. There weren't that many, I think, but I enjoyed it. Ugh, there's a hair. Okay, I will show a clip of the books I bought. So yeah, I will show the clip now. Okay, so these are the books I bought this month. I bought this one and this one at the airport before going on my trip, where I am right now, which is why I'm filming on my phone. I bought this one here, which is, oh, it's so beautiful. I'm gonna make a video about this one because it's Ali Hazelwood and I've been wanting to read this one since it came out, which is not that long ago. Then I bought the Percy Jackson series, the complete, which I will also make a video about. And I bought the Bible and the Quran, which I know I'm not pronouncing it right, but yeah, because I'm just interested in religion and I've been wanting to read both of these for ages, and I just finally bought them, which is kind of shiny, but I'm excited. I'm interested to like see how they are. Of course, I know about both of them some stuff, but It's, oh yeah, I'm also sick. But it's just interesting to see. And then, yeah, these are the books I bought. So, those were my books. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on the little bell thingy, so you know when I upload. I would really appreciate it. If you don't want to, don't. I'm still very glad you watched. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!